dozens of runs I've started in Hades 2, I was trying a new weapon for the first time, the Twin Flames, having just unlocked it. The early rooms left me feeling like I wasn't going to get very far. This loadout was not clicking with me. But then all of a sudden it was. A few upgrades and boosts later and I had turned into a whirling dervish of rotating torches, and I ended up getting significantly further into the game than I had ever before. This is just one aspect that makes Hades 2 nearly impossible to put down. At any moment you can make something out of nothing, turning despair into triumph. A follow-up to 2020's Hades, the sequel trades hero Zagreus for heroine Melinoe, who also happens to be Zagreus' sister. This family affair sees Melinoe aided by a cavalcade of Olympians, including Hermes, Artemis, and her headmistress Hecate, among many others. Your primary objective is the defeat of Kronos, the Titan of Time, who has imprisoned Melinoe's family. Much of the enjoyment of the story comes from the interactions between you and the rest of the cast, which serves as a drip feeding of plot details, world building, and relationships. The narrator, none other than Homer, of Iliad and Odyssey fame, adds a delightful flavor, especially when Melinoe takes the opportunity to call out one of his mistakes. The roguelite action gameplay revolves around traveling from room to room within a specific biome on your path to Kronos. Each biome has a particular theme, unique enemies, and a boss to conquer at the end. To defeat enemies you encounter, you have a basic, usually more close-range strike, a special attack that typically offers more range, and a cast that places a circle on the ground to various effects, like slowing enemies or gradually damaging them. Completing a room offers a reward to help you power up, either for that run or future ones. Compared to the first game, Hades 2 features a variety of currencies and items to earn and collect that can unlock different bonuses and buffs to increase your chances of successfully meeting and defeating Kronos. One neat mechanic is Arcana cards that can be unlocked and then activated up to a certain limit. The limit can also be raised, of course, and these grant healing, extra attack power, and other perks. As an RPG man myself, I prioritized upgrading the hub world, unlocking new weapons, and opening up as many possible benefits as I could. I absolutely love the way Hades makes each run feel meaningful, from both a narrative and gameplay standpoint. While you don't earn experience points, you do gain valuable insight into the different boons and upgrades available to you on each trip through the underworld. Maybe the icy powers of Demeter are helping you keep your distance from more aggressive enemies, or you might prefer the lightning-based attacks that Zeus bestows with his boons. Every run is different because you don't know what power-ups you're going to find, and when you're tired of going down to the underworld, you can instead go up, to another set of biomes and a path to Mount Olympus, provided you've jumped through a few alchemy-based hoops. A major aspect of progression in Hades 2 centers on collecting materials and ingredients to craft weapons, potions, and other objects, to fulfill requirements assigned to Melinoe by her neighbors in the hub world sanctuary, called the Crossroads. Sometimes you finish a run and check off a box or two, sometimes you make it further than you ever have and come home to a bounty of changes and some new faces. And those new faces are happy to receive gifts or make small talk, with the former unlocking individual trinkets that can also be leveled up, in addition to individual relationship meters that can also grow over time. It wouldn't be unfair to say that there's maybe too much to keep track of, too many different flowers, stones, meters, and currencies, but for those who don't mind that juggling, or just having lots to do and collect, Hades 2 is an incredible playground. The aesthetic of Melinoe's world, including the sights, sounds, and other characters, is unmatched. The Crossroads represent a perfect contrast of being both alive, but also full of underworld theming. The art style of the gods and goddesses, but also the enemy bosses, contributes so much vibrancy and vitality to the visual experience of Hades 2. And for good reason when a game's loop revolves around repetition. You genuinely want to see people pop up from time to time for another bit of flavor text, or to see how they can impact your next run. The voice acting imbues every character with a sense of realism and purpose, from Hecate's instructive chiding to Kronos' cocky antagonizing. The presentation works all the way through, and the Switch 2 performance is flawless. Nintendo's latest console ends up being another perfect home for this roguelite darling. But if you're playing on the OG Switch, with footage shown throughout this video, you're going to be just fine there too. It will take me dozens more hours to see all of what Hades 2 has to offer, and that's not even considering some specific endgame challenges it adds after you complete your first run. I am fully invested in squeezing all of the story juice from this delicious fruit, and that's primarily due to how masterful the gameplay feels. Moving, dashing, attacking, and casting are all incredibly satisfying, and it's rare to see any video game so skillfully combine gameplay with aesthetic and story. Without a doubt, Hades 2 lives up to its predecessor and surpasses it in a number of ways. While it can at times be overwhelming in terms of collectibles and crafting materials, there are also so many ways to enjoy the experience, through options like God Mode and Aim Assist, or just grinding out in-game achievements and other unlockables. Ultimately, my first complete run through the first Hades signaled the end of my time with that game, but for the sequel, it felt more like I was just getting started.
This video was made possible by our generous supporters on Patreon. Check out patreon.com/NWR for all the details.